Welcome! In this explainer, we are going to break down one of the most critical things you can do for your family's safety, building an emergency evacuation plan. We're going to cover everything from the big picture strategy to the nitty-gritty of what to grab on your way out the door, giving you a clear framework so you can act with confidence when it matters most.
So, let's just start with a really important question, one that gets right to the heart of why we're here. Imagine it, a knock at the door, an alert on your phone, and you have to go, right now. Could you be packed and on the road in just 10 minutes? For most people, the honest answer is probably not. But by the end of this, you'll have the blueprint to make yes your reality.
I mean, just picture that for a second. 1 o'clock in the morning, you're in a grocery store, desperate for cardboard boxes to throw your life into. This memory from an emergency management expert, it just paints such a vivid picture of the chaos that comes from being unprepared. And that is exactly the scenario we want to help you avoid.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to tackle this with a really clear 3-phase approach. We'll start with be ready. That's your master plan. Then we'll move to be set, getting your physical supplies in order. And finally, go now, what to do when it's time to leave. And we'll wrap up by talking about the biggest payoff of all, finding your antidote to fear.
All right, let's dive right into phase 1, be ready. This is all about the thinking you do before a crisis hits. You know, when things are calm and you can actually think clearly. This is the foundation that everything else is built on.
So your master plan really rests on these 4 pillars. It's not just about picking a place to go. It's about having options, knowing how you'll get in touch if you're separated, and really understanding the specific risks where you live, whether that's wildfires, floods, hurricanes, you name it.
This quote from Nick Miller really drives home a key point here. You have to be flexible. A single plan just isn't going to cut it, because you have no idea which roads are going to be open or which direction the danger is coming from. You absolutely need to have options. And what that means is you've got to plan more than one way out. Sure, you have your primary route, the one you take on any normal day, but what if it's totally blocked? You need backups. And this is a big one, you need physical maps. Your GPS and your cell service can, and often do, fail in a major emergency. Communication is everything. If you get separated, what's the plan? And you have to be specific. Don't just say the park, say the swing set at the park. Who do you call? Well, an out-of-town contact is usually best, because local phone lines can get completely jammed. This comms plan is basically your family's lifeline. Okay, moving on to phase 2, be set. This is where we take that brilliant plan we just made and turn it into actual, physical, ready-to-go stuff. The goal here is to create a system where you're not thinking, you're just grabbing. Now, this system has 4 main parts. We're not just talking about one bag here. It's a whole system. Big, pre-packed bins with your general supplies, smaller, personalized kits for each person's unique needs, a vehicle that's always ready to roll, and of course, a clear plan for your pets.
And this is such a perfect example of how simple organization can save you precious, precious minutes. The last thing you want is to be tearing through boxes, guessing what's inside. A big, clear label, it means you can grab exactly what you need without a second thought. It's a small thing that makes a huge difference.
Now, it's really important to get the difference between these 2 kinds of kits. Your personal go kit has the stuff that only you need. Your specific medications, copies of your documents, maybe even some chocolate for morale. Hey, it helps. The general bins, on the other hand, hold the things everybody's going to use, like tools, water filters, and first aid supplies.
Think of your vehicle as your escape pod. You got to treat it that way. Rule number 1, never let the gas tank drop below half full. Gas stations will be mobbed or empty. Maximize your cargo space with roof or hitch racks. And here's a fantastic pro tip. Always back into your driveway. It shaves off precious seconds when you need to leave fast.
And that brings us to the final phase, go now. This is it, the moment the alert comes through. But here's the thing, because of all the work you did in phases 1 and 2, this isn't a moment of panic, it's a moment of execution. You're just putting your practice into action.
This is such a simple tool, but it is incredibly powerful. A family code word, something unique that you'd never say otherwise, like pineapple. It cuts through all the noise and confusion. When that word is said, everybody in the family knows without a doubt, it is time to go. No questions, just action. And this is our target, 10 minutes. Now, that number isn't about creating some frantic rush. It's about being so practiced, so well-rehearsed, that the whole process is just smooth, calm, and fast. Think of it as a benchmark for your drills.
So how do you get down to 10 minutes? Easy. You practice. You run the drill. Everybody needs to know their job. Who's in charge of the kids' kits? Who loads the bins into the car? Who gets the pets? You practice this over and over until it's just muscle memory. Time it, see where you can get faster, and then do it again.
So, after all this work, the planning, the packing, the practicing, what's the real payoff? Well, it's about more than just being ready. It's about fundamentally changing your mindset when a crisis hits. This right here is the core idea. Preparation doesn't make the danger go away, but it completely changes your reaction to it. You see, fear just loves the unknown. But when you have a plan, you replace all that unknown with a clear, simple sequence of actions.
And this is the real goal. Instead of your brain going into panic mode, scrambling to figure out what to do, you just follow the plan. You've already done all the hard thinking ahead of time. In that critical moment, all you have to do is act. And that is the greatest antidote to fear you will ever find.
So, now it's your turn. You have the framework. What's going to be your first step today? Are you going to sit down and identify your evacuation destinations? Or maybe talk with your family about a code word? You can use the checklists and tools right here on this page to take that first step and start turning all this knowledge into your family's actual plan.